Hello, today I'm going to make some ketchup. I'm going to use the recipe in this Bernardin home canning book. In the book it says to use 24 pounds of tomatoes. I only have 9 pounds of Roma tomatoes left, so therefore 9 divided by 24 equals 0.375, so I'm going to multiply all the ingredients by 0.375. That way the acidity level and the flavor will remain the same as what's in the book. I made a spice bag with 1 1/8 tablespoons of celery seed, 1 1/2 teaspoons of whole cloves, 3/4 of a cinnamon stick, and 1/2 teaspoon of ground allspice. I'm going to add 1 1/8 cup of white vinegar. The book calls for cider vinegar, but I don't like the taste of cider vinegar. Plus, it's supposed to be 5%. My apple cider vinegar is only 4.5%, so let's go with this. I'll bring it to a boil, and once it's boiling, I'll remove it from the heat and let it sit for 25 minutes. These are small aromas, so there's no reason to core them. I just thawed them out and then cut off any blemishes, cut them into smaller pieces, and then into the pot. I added 1 1/8 of a cup of chopped onion and 3/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now we're going to bring it to a boil. Okay, we'll stir this quite a bit while I wait for it to get to a boil because I don't want anything burning. I'm going to mash them quite a bit just to get them broke up more. If things start to burn, it will ruin the whole batch, so I got to make sure I stir this fairly often so it doesn't nothing sticks to the bottom and starts to burn. Once it got up to a boil, I reduced the heat. I'm going to keep it at a gentle boil for 20 minutes. 20 minutes are up, so I'll add the vinegar mixture and I'll keep it at a gentle boil for another 30 minutes. Okay, I've let this cool down enough that I can run it through this tomato press. I just got this thing, so I don't know how well it's going to work, but it's got to be better than using the back of a spoon and a strainer. Probably easier than a food mill, too. Okay, it works pretty good, but I'm going to run that pulp through a second time at least because I want to get all the juice I can possibly get out of that thing. It's time to add the sugar and the salt. I need 0.5625 of a cup of sugar, which is 1 cup plus 1 tablespoon, and I need 1 1/2 teaspoons of pickling salt. I'm going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to stir this constantly until the sugar is dissolved so it doesn't sink to the bottom and burn. Once it reaches a boil, I'll reduce the heat and let it simmer until it's about the same thickness as store-bought ketchup. Okay, this is getting real close to being ready when you start getting that lava-like bubbles coming up. It's getting almost as thick as it's going to get. Well, I'm going by gravy because I haven't made ketchup before, but anyway, so I better get my jars and some hot water and get ready to can this because it puts about time. And I just use hot water because I'm not trying to sterilize the jars. Okay, it took an hour and 15 minutes instead of 45 minutes to get to this point. The book said it should take about 45, but maybe I'm on a lower boil or going thicker than, but it's not as thick as store-bought yet, but it's close. Fill the jars and leave a 1/2 inch of headspace. If you want to save or print this recipe, you can do so from my blog post. I put a link to it in my description. Oops, that's a little too much. Make sure to get all the air bubbles out. Check my headspace. They each have a 1/2 inch of headspace. Wipe off the jar rims with a paper towel soaked in vinegar. If I don't get them clean, the jars won't seal. Tighten the jars to finger tight. My canner will hold 5 pints, so I need to fill 2 more jars with hot water just to fill up the canner. Okay, pour hot water in here, get the jars covered by at least 1 inch. Add some vinegar to keep the jars from getting cloudy. Close the lid. Make sure it's on vent. Water bath. 15 minutes. And press start. Okay, it's really hard to see on camera, but it's steaming now, so I push start. And then it's going to shut itself off after 15 minutes. Okay, the 15 minutes are up. Turn itself off. Even with the vent open, there's still some pressure, so it's going to be a few minutes before I can open the lid. But we're all good. This thing works really well. I'll carefully open the lid, and then I'll let the jars sit for 5 minutes before I take them out. It's been 5 minutes at least, so I can pull the jars. I always need to use tongs to get the first jar out, so I'm going to pull one out that has water in it, just in case I drop it. After that, I can use the jar lifters, which is a whole lot easier. After you get them out, let them sit for at least overnight. Don't move them, don't even wipe off the lids, just let them sit. I lost some of my footage, I have to do it again, but anyway. So you can see, color is not as red as store-bought ketchup, but the taste, okay, so as I said, it's not as red as store-bought, but the taste is very good, and if not the same as store-bought, it might even be a little bit better. Okay, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you'll hit like and subscribe. Bye for now.